Hey guys, so now that you know how to use while loops and arrays, in this video, we will iterate through an array with a while loop. So what does this mean? Well, I have created this array of strings that stores random people's names. So let's say that I want to print out all of the items in this array. I've already shown you how to print out a single item from an array in C++ in a previous video. Well, if I wanted to print out all of the items in the array, I could use a while loop to do that. So remember that we print out items from an array using their index values. So let's create a variable that will store the current index value of the item that we want to print out. So I'll type int index is equal to 0. This variable will hold the current index value of the item we will print out. Now, to create the while loop, I will write the keyword while, open parentheses, and then in the parentheses, I need to write the condition at which the loop will terminate. So, I want this loop to terminate once it reaches the end of the array, because then there will be no more items left to print out. So, when it reaches the end of the array, the value of the variable index will be equal to the value of the size of the array. Remember that the size of the array is the number of items in the array. This means that as long as the variable index is less than the size of the array, I want the loop to be executed. So we can see that the size of the array is 8 because we wrote 8 in the square brackets over here, and this number dictates how many items will be in the array. So I will write in the condition index is less than 8. Now, as long as index is less than the size of the people array, which is 8, the code inside the while loop will be executed. So, inside the loop, the first thing I want to do is print out the item in the array. To do this, I will write cout and then I will write the array name, which is people, followed by square brackets. And in the square brackets, I will write the index value of the item that I want to print out, which is equivalent to the index variable. So I will write index. And then I will write NL, as I want each item to be printed out on a separate line. And NL makes sure that the code goes to the next line. So now, this code will print out the item at the index value of whatever the value the index variable is equal to. So first, I want the loop to print out the item at index value 0. And index is set to 0. So it will do that. Great. Then I want the loop to print out the item at index value 1. To do this, on the next line, I will write index plus equals to 1. This line of code increases the value of index by 1. So, after the loop prints out the item at index value 0 in the array, it will add 1 to index, and then the variable index will become 1. Then it will print out the item at index value 1 in the array. and then it will again add 1 to the index variable. So the index variable will become 2, and so on. This will keep happening until the index variable reaches the end of the array. So this loops through all the items in the array people and prints them out. So let's run the code to test it out. As expected, it prints out each of the items in the array, which means that it prints out the random names in the people array in order on a separate line. Perfect. So this is how you can iterate through an array in C++ using a while loop.